Today, I'm excited to have with you a couple parents. So we're going to bring in the parent perspective to library land with AI, and I'm excited to introduce Cameron and Cassandra. Thanks for joining us, you guys, today.
Hello.
Hello.
Thanks for having us.
All right, part of my hope is to kind of get your perspective as parents. Can you tell us a little bit about your children without mentioning their names, just to kind of give us an idea about who they are and kind of what they might bring to the conversation?
Yeah, so we have 12-year-old daughter who's going into seventh grade after the summer. She plays the violin, very studious, a very good student. And we have 8-year-old son going into third grade and very smart, very creative, very silly. But they're both really good students and really good kids.
Okay. And uh, the podcast is called For the Love of Libraries, and I always try to get people to share some fun memories of a librarian or something, a library or a librarian. So, can you guys share a fun story of a librarian or a library that's from your past?
Well, from an early age, I've always gone to libraries and public libraries. I remember walking to the public library just to check out the brand new book that was there. And so for me, it was always the children's librarian that I grew up with. I resonated with her and enjoyed talking to her, volunteering, and then starting to work there. So she was probably the reason why I started in the library field.
Okay, that's right. And Cassandra, can you tell us a little bit about what you do?
Yes, I'm a library assistant at Missouri School for the Blind. I
Whoop
have
whoop.
snaps, snaps, snaps all around. And I love it. I love it there. It's amazing. I've worked in the public library, an academic library, and now a K through 12 library, school library. So,
And
yeah.
and if anyone watching this doesn't know, Cassandra and I work together at Missouri School for the Blind. So I wanted to like bring her in with her husband, but more from an angle of as a parent. So
Yeah.
all right, Cameron, you help us.
Uh, I also grew up going to the library. I don't remember the librarian's name, but it was I was in elementary school when a librarian turned me on to like horror and science fiction novels, and I've loved reading ever since because of that. So yeah. And are we doing professionally also?
Sure. I mean, if there's connections, sure. No, yeah. Tell us about
Sure.
your profession.
Well, I'm a dispatcher at a ready mix concrete company, so
Okay.
on the phones and dispatch trucks.
Okay, that's awesome. All right, tell us a little bit about what your background is with AI. Like, have you guys had much experience using it? What's it been like? Yeah, tell us a little bit about that.
Go ahead.
Okay, well, I use AI a lot, specifically Chat GPT. I use it probably every day. I use it
Okay.
for fact checking. A lot of videos that I see online, it'll say something like, uh, we're getting stimulus checks on Thursday, and I'll ask ChatGPT, is there any merit to this? And uh, it's been really helpful to compile its sources so I can look at specific articles, and also helps to um, bring the veracity of the claims down. You'll read
Yep.
something that
Okay.
sounds crazy, and then ChatGPT will say, it's actually an oversimplification, or that's actually just not a fact. And I also use it for creative things. We play Dungeons and
Dungeon.
Dragons, and it's
Hmm.
it's really helpful for creating characters, or like working out plot points, and motivations of characters. So it's really helpful for that.
As well as yeah, maps,
The image
image
generation and
Yeah.
generation.
Yeah. Yep.
If there's like um, something in the like world that is outlawed and you can't remember, you can ask
yeah,
ChatGPT
ChatGPT.
what's outlawed there, and so to play the game and stuff like that
Mhm.
real quick.
Okay. And do you guys primarily, or Cassandra, how about you? Is there what? Tell me what
I
you.
I've used it at work with
Uh-huh.
all of our students. We've done multiple projects and programs and uh, different things with that, as well as like signage, social media things, posters, stuff like that. Um, Trying to think what else.
Yeah, we anyone watching that hasn't read my book, I've written about a few things that Cassandra and I have done that relate to AI, so you'll have to check it out. And do you guys both just use ChatGPT or do you use any other specific, chatbots or
That's the only one that I've ever used.
okay.
Mainly
Yeah.
ChatGPT for me
Hmm.
as well.
Okay. And then what about any other kind of that you know of at least AI tools that might be built into other programs or things that maybe it's and it's also becoming more and more difficult to know even when we're using different AI tools within certain things. But like for example, like I think an email you can have AI write with you, or when you're Google searching, if you Google search something, the AI companion, that's
Yes.
Google's tool will show up. So I'm sure you've seen or maybe even accidentally used some of those, but you're saying pretty much primarily it's just ChatGPT that you use.
Yeah.
Hmm.
For work, though, would be Magic School.
Yeah, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Magic School.
And I do use the Google AI pretty
Summary or
regularly
whatever
now
it's
that I
called.
think about it, but I hadn't even thought about that as an AI
Yeah,
tool. But
yeah. I mean, and that's part of the issue that we're all facing in society is trying to make sense of what AI might be and where
yeah.
it might be included. And let's tell me a little bit about your kids' use that you know of. Are they using anything with in school or on their own? They each have devices. Can you tell us a little bit
Mhm.
about that?
The one that I can think of for our 12-year-old daughter, she was using ChatGPT to for like haircut ideas. Like she
Okay.
had uploaded a picture of her face and was, what would I look like
Like
with
with
the short
short.
bob
Yeah.
or,
Oh,
things like
wow.
that.
And did
Uh,
it did it come back with an image of her?
it did pretty
It
good.
did all
Yeah,
right.
it
Yeah,
did
it
pretty
wasn't
good.
terrible,
It, it wasn't
So it
great, but
recreated her with the,
mhm,
the haircut that she was wondering.
mhm,
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh,
Mhm.
that's
it
probably
did
pretty
pretty good.
funny.
Yeah,
Pretty
it was
Yes,
funny.
it
fun.
was
Yeah, it was
hilarious.
fun. And
Yeah.
she also did it for nail designs.
Mhm.
She wanted to, do her
Oh,
nails or get her nails done. So uh,
okay.
one thread I saw specifically, she had asked it for like a beach theme,
Mhm.
like a summer beach theme, and so it gave her a few different options for that.
And
She
then
went back from there.
she would respond to it about like cut this out, narrow it down,
Hmm.
things of that nature.
Okay, so
Going
make iterations of
back.
it.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Let's talk about her a little bit more, and then we'll move into your son. So does she talk with you guys much about use of AI with her friends or at school, or where else in her life might she be, or does she mention that? Like, is it a prevalent thing?
I know that currently, I believe they're a Chromebook school. So
Ah,
currently there's no talks of it in
mm,
classrooms currently. Um, but as of right now, that could change coming this school year and moving forward and things like that. But as of right now, I do believe it's blocked.
Yeah,
It's blocked
yeah,
on
they.
their school computer.
Mhm.
yeah, yeah. Okay. Um, and then what are do you have concerns like related to privacy or any other, AI related concerns in relation to your daughter or either one of your kids? Like, are there concerns?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
What,
I
yes.
what,
definitely do. I
yeah,
mean,
what are they?
even past data privacy,
Yeah.
that's a concern, and there's not so much that I don't. Well, I don't know what can be done about that, but the one that concerns me the most is I'll see it with my own Chat GPT. Is it's confirming my own biases a lot of the time. It's
Mm,
it's communicating with me in a
It
way
would,
that I want it to communicate me with, if that makes sense.
yeah,
And I
yeah.
worry that the kids will get trapped in kind of this, confirmation bias loop, and
Oh, yeah. That's a
I
great
do worry about that a lot.
question.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's I'm concerned about that with the
Hmm.
computers across the board
Right.
with their
Social
Hmm.
YouTube
media. Yeah,
shorts
yeah.
and social media, and AI is just
Hmm.
another part of
Right,
that.
right. Well, I mean, to think about life, like my kids now are not teens anymore, they're older and but I went through that with them with social media, like to explore this new world of social media and how difficult it is as parents to keep up
Yeah.
with what's going on and protecting them, it's just really hard AI now is upending everything again, and I keep hearing over and over again from lots of AI experts talking about how, how society kind of got it wrong with social media and how, big tech companies, you know, made it so addictive and some of the issues, with bullying and all this stuff, and they keep referencing how, we can't make that same mistake with AI. But
Yes.
yet there's no simple, there's no simple answer or solution to how to avoid those problems.
Yeah.
Because you can't just ban them or block, like
Right.
they
Right.
have to learn how to
They have
use.
to.
Yeah, they have
Yeah.
to learn how to use
And
it.
that's the hope that we have. Well, at least I do personally, is that the they'll teach it in a way that is it's we're not depending upon it. It's not the last result. Like it is something that's included into society, but it's not the end all be all.
Mm,
Like it's not the only thing. They still
Yeah.
need to learn how to research themselves. They still need to fact check and finding
mm,
solutions and things like that. They still need to learn that stuff. As far as like, I worry with it being incorrect sometimes.
Yeah,
yeah.
That they'll get stuck in the like,
confirmation bias.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
And trusting it
And
without
and
thinking
trusting it
twice.
with information and personal identity and like
Mm,
just being safety, and it is it is
That's
a
concerning.
concern.
But I've told them a million times that if it's on a screen,
It,
if a computer is telling it to you in any way, you have to assume that it's not true.
yes.
Even if you really want it to be true, you
Yeah.
just
to be
have
more skeptical. Yeah,
yeah,
not
Yes.
to
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
be
yeah.
like trusting without, any kind of filter or whatever.
Yeah.
Tell me about communication, because like teens, um, children just in general, but especially when kids become teens, it's not always easy to get them to communicate. If I'm not mistaken, your daughter's pretty great with communication.
Oh yes. Oh,
No.
Um,
oh
but
yes.
but I think there's always a lot of encouragement to like for parents to communicate with their kids
Mhm.
about what they're doing on their devices and all that.
Mhm.
Mhm.
But it's not always easy because, there's just so much that goes on. There's such little time and they have access to their devices at, times, you know, we can't, always
Mhm.
communicate with. So, yeah, tell me about what your thoughts are about that, the role of communication. How might that look?
Well, I think there are some good things about it. Like a great example is we just took our 8-year-old son to a birthday party that our 12-year-old daughter didn't want to go to, so we left her here,
Mhm.
and she didn't, but she could be on FaceTime with us
Mhm.
the entire trip if she
Mhm.
wanted to be.
Right.
And even when we're on our way back, she texted me,
Mhm.
"How long until you get home?" And I can literally send her my location
Right.
from Google
Right,
Maps.
right, right, right.
So that's a good thing,
Yes.
being able to communicate like that at all
Well, and
times.
also having a healthy relationship with your child and
Mm,
having good, honest communication,
Yeah,
of having openness and trust and respect and mutual,
the, the com-
knowing that, and understanding our children and knowing who they are as people. Knowing that we
yeah,
have that great relationship, it establishes those bonds equally as well.
well, and then the connection to AI is really
Hmm.
important because as society learns and figures out new capabilities that it
Yes.
has, we don't always know what they are ourselves, let alone
Hmm.
understand what our children are how they interpret or use those different tools. And like I wrote about this in my book too at one point. This was a couple years ago, right after, not long after ChatGPT was released. Our students came into the library asking about or commenting about how in Snapchat, this is some of our older teens, like Snapchat had every user was forced to like have an AI Snapchat person or whatever. It was like
Yeah.
a fake
Mhm.
person, and I just thought like, man, how many kids, don't have parents who have no idea what
Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
that is
Yeah.
or what's going on. That was a couple years ago. So
Right.
like the AI tools that are infiltrated in all their apps and world,
Yes.
and
Well, and
and then Yeah.
iOS updates now, and that's going to, and new iPhones, and I mean, that's where
Oh,
we're
and the
moving
hardware.
towards.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's too much to keep up with.
Yeah,
Yeah.
built in. Let's talk about your 8-year-old son. So, I mean, he's going into third grade. Uh, he has his own smartphone.
He
Yes.
does, yes.
And how many, what, if you had a guess, is it common for a lot of his friends his age to have their own smartphone?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I'd
Okay.
say I'd say 90% of them do.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. See, it's been a while since I've really wondered about or been in that world.
Yeah.
So, wow, that's pretty incredible. And I wonder, like, does he ever talk about AI and does he know much about what it might mean? And
I don't think he does, truthfully. I think
It
he
hasn't
understands.
crossed his realm yet. I feel
Yeah.
like
okay,
it's not into his special interest yet, but I
right.
feel like when that
I know
like encompass it,
uh,
it'll be different. I think.
he definitely has a little bit of an understanding about what it is because we have sat around before. Like the other
Hmm.
day, we uploaded this picture of the four of us,
Mm-hmm.
and we asked ChatGPT to like make it in the style of Bob's Burgers, and
Mm-hmm.
so
Yeah. Okay.
spit out a cartoon.
Yes.
And so
Okay.
and so he understands that.
Yes.
He
Mm-hmm.
saw the process for it to go from we were like,
Right.
hey, this is a funny idea to it actually
Yeah.
being there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he understands it like that, but I don't see him using it. I know
Mm-hmm.
that's I check his internet history every now and then and the apps that he has on there, and I haven't seen anything that he's using
Okay.
anyway.
Okay. Do you guys have any concerns about addiction with AI?
Yeah, in the same way that I have concerns about addiction to the phone. Period.
Yes.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
For all
Yeah.
of us.
Yeah,
Yes.
I mean,
and you can see a difference. There have been times where, for whatever reason, we've been on our phones a little bit more than usual,
Yeah.
and you can see a difference in his attitude
Yes.
and just his
mm,
general demeanor.
Yes.
And
Yes.
it'll
yeah.
take a while to get him out of it.
Yeah.
Uh,
Mm,
so yeah,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
it's and it's the same with me. I've been on my phone and be like, oh my gosh,
I'm
we're
on my
all
phone
doing
too.
this too
Yeah.
much.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. I
it's
mean,
starting with me.
I think that's a
Not like me though, because I read a lot.
Yeah,
But
you read a lot.
yeah, I mean, our society is pretty much everyone's pretty
yeah.
much,
Yeah.
hooked on their phones. You feel, like it's almost like you can't go anywhere without it, and it's not
Yeah.
just our phones now. We have watches that are, our addiction, if you will, to technology is, I mean, I don't know if that's the right word, but it's just become such a vital part of our lives in so many areas. And yeah, there's this.
Well,
Um,
and I feel like it's a concerning now because grown adults are having problems with AI. And knowing that grown adults are having problems and addiction problems with AI, it makes us worry for the kids. Like
yeah.
if this, like I said, if this has become something that's your go-to and you use it constantly, and then it becomes the only thing that and you're not
Mm,
thinking for yourself, and
Yeah.
yeah.
so it is, yeah, definitely a concern.
Now, you guys are really big library users with your
Yes.
kids. So let's talk about that a little bit. I know you guys do the summer reading program and you're really involved with reading in general. Have you seen any connections with AI with the public library that you guys visit or anywhere else in the library world for your kids? And
Not
are you guys?
generally like out front, but my hope for future of libraries would just be that they, because they do a lot of like classes and stuff for
Hmm,
people, and about
okay.
computer classes, language classes,
Like
helping people,
educational stuff.
yeah, educational stuff, also like CVs and resumes, and all like help with that and stuff like that. My hope is that they become more accepting and move towards the future of like teaching people and teaching the community, and
Hmm,
being a resource for the community, and being like, hey, if you have AI questions, we're here to
hmm.
help, things like
Yeah.
that.
Well, that brings us to the topic of AI literacy. I mean, there's a big push, like globally, I guess you would say, for helping everyone become AI literate, which basically just means like
Yes.
knowing some of the basic things and
Yeah.
topics and skills that involve AI. Um,
There absolutely should be.
Yes. Yes.
yeah, it's just and that's kind of the whole goal of my book and this podcast and everything, is to try to help librarians kind of like step up and lead the way, because information, is really at the center of what AI is changing, what information looks like, how to figure out if it's real or not, and
Mhm.
which is becoming more and more difficult,
Yes.
and then how to kind of learn about what these changes are and how they're unfolding and evolving. Um, okay, what about let's talk about your specific interests that you guys might have. Is there anything in particular with AI that you guys are really interested in learning more about or using it for?
There's quite a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Cameron didn't even talk about his Minecraft stuff. Yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
There's
what do you
it's
mean?
well, it's
Yeah.
I've like I said, I use it quite a bit, and I mean, what my interest would be some more advanced language model than Chat GPT because it's very limited. I just haven't. I don't want to spend any money on it, and
Yeah.
I just want
Right.
to use it. So
Oh, that was a question I should have asked you guys. Are you guys using just the free version of ChatGPT?
Yes.
yeah,
Mhm.
Okay.
yeah,
And I haven't even created an account
yeah,
because
sure.
I use it so sparingly that
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, the new text to video stuff that interests me a lot. I think that's
Mm.
really incredible, and like the new Photoshop. I can't think of what they call it. The auto generative
Mm.
thing. If you've seen,
Yeah, background fill and
yeah,
like
Yeah.
to
all
to
that.
generate yeah.
For the creative purposes of it is what interests me more than anything
Mm.
Yeah.
else. So,
Yeah, the artistic side. And if I'm not mistaken, here's a good thing we could ask about. I mean, I don't know if it relates as much to libraries, but it does because it's the world of intellectual property is a hot topic with libraries. Like a lot of these AI models have been trained on kind of like stolen data, basically.
mhm.
Um, and there's a lot of controversy with using these models and taking away the liveliness or the work of artists that have worked so hard to do it, and specifically music. So Cameron, if I'm not mistaken, you're a musician too, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
So what are your thoughts about AI generated music? Because it can create songs and like really, really
Yeah.
incredible. It's
Yeah.
just sorry, one last thought before you answer is
Mhm.
is it parallels, image generation, right? So artists,
Mhm.
all the artist work that have AI has been trained on all this artist work now, like it's kind of offensive to artists and actors and voice actors, and like there's just this big threat of jobs and identities being stolen and taken away and changing. So as a musician, what are your thoughts about AI generated, music and
I have no problem with it whatsoever. I think that if you're somebody who plays music and somebody who writes music, you are influenced by things that you've heard before.
Mm,
The
okay.
same way that
Yeah.
AI is influenced by whatever data it's pulling off the internet anyway. So it's it's all the same, in my opinion.
Mm,
It's nothing
Well,
is created out of thin air. It's all created based on experiences and
yeah.
well,
what's an influence except for just data that you've experienced and you're bringing to
Yeah. Yeah.
the
Yeah.
thing. And there will always be. I think that as AI stuff gets more prevalent, there will always be a market for handmade,
yes. Yeah.
human
Yeah.
created. You know, and
Right.
you can. I think that you can see it. I think that the difference between like an amazing painting and just a mediocre painting is it's it's such a minuscule brushstroke. It's
Yeah.
just the slightest angle of a line. So there's no difference. It's all the same. I think that
Mm,
And there's only so many notes, you know what I mean? And
yeah,
what combination and music
there's
has always been a sample of somebody else's works, sample
mm,
of sample of sample of something, and then you're remixing it, and so it and you can tell that I feel like you can tell the difference of something that's been craftedly lyricked,
yeah.
versus
hmm
like something that's
And
AI generated. It has no heart. It has no soul. It has, you know,
you can tell, and you can see, you'll see an advertisement for some store, and you can tell that they just typed in, give me an advertisement for my ice cream shop, and it spit it out. But you'll also see stuff on, like I see it all the time on TikTok, people that are creating like whole movies, like 16-part science fiction movies using Google VO3 that are awesome, that are so
Yeah.
cool.
Right.
And it was used
Well,
by AI, but it's also driven by people.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's right. Well, I mean, and it used to be you could tell when an image was generated by AI, and videos too were obvious, but as it evolves, we can't, it's getting
Yeah.
close to now. I mean, some of the older models are still available, so we still see like obvious AI generated content, but
Yeah.
as it gets more advanced, it won't be long until we won't be able to tell at all, any modality. Last question. Let's talk about, or last topic, I should say. Let's talk about the future of work and the connections to education. So there's this huge transition, right, that we're preparing for an upheaval in the job world. There's a lot of research being done that says that a whole bunch of jobs are going to get eliminated, and then there's a whole bunch of new jobs that are going to like appear. So it's a little bit of both. And then there's a concern that in education, are we as a society, at least in the United States, are we preparing our children for an AI infused world? Are we doing it the right way? And what are your thoughts about about all that? It's a
I'm
big topic.
I think it's going to be really bad before it gets better, if I'm 100% honest.
Yeah.
And what do you mean by
Um,
that?
well, it's the
Job
same
loss?
job loss, a lot of that. We've seen it before. As computers got more advanced,
Hmm.
at Walmart, we have self checkout now.
Yeah.
So people lost jobs, so we could have that. And that'll be the same with this. The same with art and music. It's People would say, well, it gives less of an opportunity. If you're a musician and you write a song, maybe you could have sold it for some movie, but now instead the movie is just going to use some AI generated song instead. So I think that's a very valid concern. Uh,
Yeah.
and I think a lot of people lose jobs before the pendulum kind of swings back.
Yeah. It's
And
so interesting you say that because I don't know if you follow AI as closely as I do, but that's a reoccurring theme that a lot of that I don't hear as much, but I hear it from some of the world's leading experts about that same concept that it's gonna be problematic for a while and then it'll get better. And so much of it points to the largest tech companies and the, like the kind of I don't want to say monopoly, but like the billions or trillions of dollars that they have behind them, like that separation between classes, basically, like we were already kind of having a shrinking of the middle class as it is, but AI is threatening to take white collar jobs too. And there's a concern that, yeah, that people are going to need to find a new purpose if work is what defines their happiness or whatever. Like if those jobs keep disappearing and keep changing and people aren't willing to adapt, I think that's
Yeah.
a key thing is like a lot of people probably aren't willing to adapt.
yeah,
Which is another thing that I think is what's going to make it the future so hard for everything is we have this new thing and we're trying to introduce it into society and do things about it, but we have no set plan. You know what I mean? Like there's no
Hmm.
set community
control
goal,
or
control of
communication.
like, hey, this is how we're going to do it and this is the best practice of doing it this way, which is going to have people be resistant, which people are already resistant now. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't even want to create an account. I
Yeah.
am like,
And you're not alone.
yeah,
No.
and just seeing new things coming out in new research about how it's affecting us as a society, how it's affecting our thoughts and our thinking, and we're becoming, and just the environment of
Oh,
how it's
yeah.
affecting the
There's so
environment
many
and things
ethical
like, yeah,
problems.
ethical.
Yeah.
Yes, there's so many ethical
But
problems as
see,
well, but if you don't embrace, we don't
Yeah.
move forward. And
Yeah.
our future is our future and what we make of it. And if this is the future that we're going to have, and this is the society that we're going to be working towards, then we need to embrace it as well.
Whether we want to or not. I mean, and
Yeah,
I
whether
think
we
of your
want to or
kids,
not.
That's
like
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
going to enter a world of work when the time comes. And if they don't have AI literacy skills, or if they're hidden from what it is, what a disadvantage they'll have.
Yeah.
yeah.
So it just makes it tricky. There's no
Yeah.
really easy way around it. But
It's going there.
Yes.
I've done two separate market research studies that they were both for dispatching software. So they were both for software that like lets you assign field technicians to specific jobs, and then you track them through the process. And
okay.
both of them were basically testing their AI assistant. Both times. That's I mean that's
Okay.
what it was. So that's the way it's moving for sure. There's
Yeah. Yeah.
no stopping.
Yeah. Okay, last question. If you were going to give some advice to a new and aspiring librarian, what would that, related to AI and everything, what would that advice be?
I think it would be embrace the change.
Okay.
Go educate yourself to understanding what's going to happen, prepare, expect the worst, but hope for the best. It's all new, and it is, you may have concerns or feelings or anything like that, but just keep going on, keep pushing, because it's good. It's going to get better before, and helping people is, the heart of it, and we have, in order to help others, we have to educate ourselves and be
That's
ready
great
to,
advice. Yeah.
you know, get with the times and change,
Mm.
because it's coming. So,
All right, Cameron, any suggestions from you?
I would say I don't work as a librarian professionally, but I
Right,
would
but
say
wait,
that
but you're bringing it from the perspective of a parent or a
yes,
patron or a
I would say
patron.
from my outside perspective in that regard is you could have no impact or you could have a huge impact. It just depends on how the kind of effort you want to put into the job.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You could
yeah.
be a huge influence on children if you chose to be.